We are live, beautiful people. We are live. There will be a slight delay, no doubt. And yes, something's happening. Excuse me. So, hello, and welcome, beautiful people.
Hi, guys.
Oh, there's an ad on it. I just realized there's an ad. It's monetized. Wow. How about that? All right. So welcome, beautiful people. Welcome to another beautiful Bonestone Bash. We have lots and lots of goodies in here for you today. So we are revealing 2 of the cards that you know that we worked on, and then a secret card, as is our style. And we're also going to be throwing it out there to you beautiful people to decide which of the cards we are going to do next. Now, I should let you know that we have, in fact, completed 18 cards from this tarot deck. And that is 18, 17, 16 major arcana cards and 2 minor arcana cards. So the minors that we've got are the 8 of Swords and the Queen of Wands. And what is left for us to work on is as follows: the Wheel of Fortune, the Sun, the World, Hanged Man, Chariot, and Judgment. So that is what we've got left to work on. So consider which one you would like to see next, and when it comes time to throw out that question, you're ready. You're ready and raring to go. So we have people with us already. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm here with the ever-talented, most beautiful artist witch in the whole wide world, Anna Turian.
Hello. Thanks for coming, guys. We well, at least I'm dealing with heat. I don't know what you're dealing with over there, Avalon, but
I'm dealing with a horrible cold. It's actually it's not too bad of a day. It's not too bad here. It is technically winter, but I'm not sure what's going on. It's a very airy, crisp day outside, but I should mention this. I have a terrible cold. I have a horrible cough. I will be blowing my nose. I will be coughing, and I do have a minor fever. So I contemplated whether or not I would do this, but I am a Taurus Sun, Libra Moon, and Scorpio Ascendant, and the Scorpio told me to just chill the fuck out, that I don't know anyone anything. The Libra told me to just pace myself and do things in a timely fashion and just adjust my perspective, and the Taurus in me said take a teaspoon of cement and harden the fuck up. So I decided to listen to all 3 and I've come together with this. This is what you will see today.
Yeah, I'm going on 35 degrees Celsius here, which is, for me, is so I have like my hair up. I'm like, anyway.
This is the most, this is going to sound funny, but it's the most undressed I've seen you, Anna. Like,
I know.
I'm so used to seeing you like an element of a jumper or like a little cardi or something on.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
I had to like take all my clothes out, my winter clothes. So.
Oh my gosh. I don't have winter clothes. I just have like slightly warmer summer clothes. My sister is here, by the way, folks. She's actually here in my house, and she's also in the chat. So she's not here. She's just next door, and she's just written that my son is saying hi.
So she's babysitting?
I beg your pardon? Oh yeah, she is. She's babysitting at the moment. So he's under control because my son has an insatiable appetite, and and so he needs to graze like consistently. He always has to have food in his hand or around him. If he can't see food, then he starts to panic a little bit, a bit like my friend Chase. 2 of ours is here, and Alora Ray is here.
Yeah, hi, Alora. Hi, Chase. Hi, Juliana. I see. Who else? Claire. Hi.
We've got Gemma, Juliana. We have Madame Venefica, and my sister's here. Sea Glitter Ink. Tori. Oh, so many people. Megan. Nicole Hannah, Claire G, the Crystal Grove, Jessie, our beautiful Jessie. We've got lots and lots of lovely people here. So Listen, this is what we're doing today, guys. Thank you again for making time in your day to hang out with us. We're going to do a really, really great little episode here for you, episode of Bonestone Bash Creators Flow. And we are going to be revealing today the Star card and also the Strength card from the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. We are also going to be revealing our secret card, which we like to do from time to time, or most times we do a little secret card, sometimes one, sometimes two, you know, we'll see how we go. So we've got a really good one for you, and then we'll be throwing it out there to see which one we're going to create next. Now, if you are not aware, and this is your first time tuning in or watching one of these replays, then I would like for you to know that we do have a Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot Facebook group where you can see our work in progress. You will be the first people to see our images, with the exception of any secret cards that we are working on, because we do like to give to people the element of surprise as well. And so you will see the progress, you will see behind the scenes, you'll hear the chatter and things like that. So if you do want to stay, you know, up to date with the progress of this particular tarot deck, then that's how you do it. So I'm also getting very, very, very close to listing my deck. So that should be happening in July. So I have a bit of a date now, a little bit of a certain date. And most of my little ducks are in order. I'm waiting on one final piece of information before I can go ahead and type out that epic pre-order ramble on my Etsy page. That, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how much information I'm going to have to put in there. And then I'll be adding a date in there as well for the completion. Now, understand, please, pre-orders do not mean you are buying the tarot deck straight away. It means that you are pre-ordering the deck while it is continuously being worked on. Once it's finalized, it will go off to the printer. Then it will spend time at the printer. Then the printer will sail that package back to me, where I will then sit here and go through all the pre-orders. And those of you who have placed pre-orders will be the first to receive your decks. So it's a lot of work, and I have to type in all of the country codes, all the postage and handling bits and pieces. So it's a thing, folks, and I am working on it. So please bear with me. I'm trying as hard as I can. Don't pressure me. I'm sick and I'm fragile. Okay. Is that a good amount of information?
Yes, yes, yes. And you know, I mean, no matter how many questions you answer, that beforehand, there's going to be plenty of questions that you didn't answer. You have to add in, because you know that's the way it is.
Yeah,
so,
I might have to do a Q&A, a frequently asked questions or something like that. That's going to have to be a thing, yeah. Alrighty.
All right. Are you ready?
I am ready. I'm ready. I'm slightly ready. And again, I've got to just to warn you, my cough is horrible and it will frighten you, but don't worry, I'm not dying. Okay. You'll be like, oh my God. I'm not dying, I assure you. I might just put the fan on. So I'm going to hand over to Anna. I'm going to mute my mic, and Anna is going to begin maybe with the star card. Maybe?
Yes, I'm actually going to start with that one because, all right, so because there was so much controversy with the Tower card, maybe a lot of people didn't get to see the sketches for the star card. So the star card is moving from the Tower card, okay? So we are, where is it? Here it is. Okay, so it's on the Bonestone site. I'm going to make this, flip this towards me. Get the light in. Okay, and this is the star card, guys. So here we have the idea of hope that is bursting, that is coming through, literally through this. We have in like a almost like an Indian looking male figure, but you can see, I'm gonna go a little closer. You can see that right here is the eagle that we saw in the Tower card. He is coming through here and bursting free from his chains, and the chains are falling. And so we wanted to make sure that that continuity was there, that from the fall of the tower, there is the rise and the literally the hope with the Star card. So we got this background that is in darkness, and you know the focal point is really happening right here. And there are on his body we have tattoos, like symbols on him, and I'm not sure if you can. I'm gonna kind of bring it in, but on his cheek we have a sigil. It is the sigil of hope. And you know how we did that is, I'm gonna show you. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the witch's wheel. It's this right here. So normally, like, the easiest way to do a sigil is you would go through the letters and connect the letters. So like in this case, you know, the word hope would be, where's H? Okay, H-O-P-E. So this would be the sigil of hope. And that sigil we incorporated and placed on his face. There's multiple ways you can do sigils, but this is one way of doing it. And I thought it would work well with the, you know, the general markings on his skin. So kind of incorporated and blended in. And you also get the sense of like peacefulness that's on his face. So he's very content. There's none of that angst that you feel from the Tower card, right? So this is the Star card. Avalon, do you have anything to say in regards to this card?
Oh, I would love to say lots and lots. I would love to say lots and lots. They're all joking in the chat stream about the fact that it looks like Chase. So Chase, 2 of ours, is Indigenous. He's American, a Native American, and he has a mohawk, and he's very slender. And so this really does accidentally look like him. So own that. But here's what we've got. Traditionally, the star is a woman, and so we wanted to create a different perspective there as well. We wanted to bring back the aspect of the sort of like a resurrection aspect of the Tower card. Even though the card itself, the eagle in the card, did not die, it's the return of power, so to speak. It's the return of direction. It's the return of hope. And therefore there's a merging, a synergy of, you know, of this beautiful sovereign bird with, you know, a sovereign soul, and the connection of the two creates this bright illumination that can usher in a new dawn, so to speak. And so when I originally started to envision this character, I thought that he was the leader of a tribe that had been displaced, and that he was wandering the night without any direction whatsoever, and he was beginning to lose hope, despite the fact that so many of his people were depending on him and looking to him for wise counsel and for direction and for, you know, the next step. And it's that moment of darkness where he found his hope, and when he did, it burst out of him like the triumphant eagle, the resurrection aspect of that eagle, and the synergy of 2 sovereign creatures, and erupted into this bright star, the star of hope and the star of direction. And he was able to lead his people as a result of that. See the story that unfolded as a result of that? And so that's our star. That's our star.
That's the Star card. And you know, there's other ways that you can do the sigils, but for this particular case, I did the rune instead of doing like we did for the Hermit. There was a the symbol we used was more by canceling vows and stuff like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
there's a few different ways. We've got a little bit of magic, a little bit of witchcraft woven in here. In case you we've got the witch's sigil. We've got the more chaos magician, Osmond Spare kind of, you know, sigil, the removing of vows, and you know, that kind of bizzo. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful that we've got so many different modalities, because we are both practitioner of the art of witchcraft. She comes at it from a Wiccan point of view. I come at it from, I don't fucking know what my point of view is, but we're coming at it together.
Yeah, you can't take the witch out of the card. that's for sure. It kind of gets in there.
It's a beautiful thing.
All right,
It's a
so
beautiful thing.
moving on to the strength card. So, okay, so here is the strength card. I think everything is coming up flipped for some reason. So
No,
if you're
it looks
seeing,
good.
okay, all right. So I'm just making sure. So this is the strength card, and here we have her. So she's sitting in a meditation pose. Her hands are together. She's concentrating. She's also at peace. But there's that, we're focusing on the inner peace and the inner calm here, no matter what's going on. So here you have all the animals that we relate to strength in different forms, right? The elephant is strong, but it's a more gentle form of strength. But he is a powerful animal in size also. You have the bear over here, and the Black Panther, and the cobra over there. So the way that I drew these were almost like these entities that are coming from within her. So she's thinking of these. That's why they are not fully solid. They are somewhat see-through. You can, if I kind of go a little closer, you can see a little bit of her clothing kind of coming through the panther here. And you can see, let me look, I have to see the cobra. Like there's a little bit of the clothing that you can see behind. And they're, mostly you can see that their feet, their mouths are open. They're ready to strike, but they're not. And this is all happening inside her mind, but she's also capable of centering herself and gaining the strength that she needs. And in front, she's sitting at the edge of, what is this? There's literally an edge, almost like a cliff. And then behind you have all this, Avalon wanted her hair to be flowy red to symbolize also the almost like a fiery strength. So this is the strength card. Anything else you want to add?
Yes, I would like to add that, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Isn't it amazing? That's not what I was adding, but I'm just like a little bit taken. I'm a little bit taken by the awesomeness
I
of the
thought
card
that
itself.
my video turned off. I'm like, wait, am I like talking to myself?
No, I'm just making sure that my cough doesn't come too heinously. Now, what I wanted to say is that there is an elemental aspect to this as well. So as you all know, we have chosen these beautiful creatures, and they are known as just, for their majesty, essentially, their sovereign majesty. And we have the bear there that is quite the keeper, the earth keeper, and ferocious when poked. The elephant who always remembers and lingers around water, very earth. The bear is very earth. The elephant is very water. The snake, the rising of power before strike, it's very fire. And the swift and cunning nature of the panther is very air. So she's well balanced within this elemental perspective. And we chose these creatures very organically, and you guys assisted with the choosing of these beautiful creatures. The elephant was something that I think Patrick from in the 78 cards put in there, and we had such a dynamic decision process that went on last time when we were creating this. So I just wanted you to know that there's pieces of you beautiful people, there's pieces of you in this deck, and there will always be pieces of you. Whenever you choose in and whenever you throw out your comments, you're pieced in this deck. And this is one such example where your influence and your energy has been thoughtfully injected here to create something that is so unbelievably beautiful, and that will be available for people to touch and play with. Like that's a beautiful legacy. So we have that majesty in there in the strength card, and we chose to step away from the lion because the lion is not the only creature that is unbelievably, amazing and regal and has the capacity to you know, to unleash the wild. There are many creatures out there in the world that can do that, and we wanted a few here to serve as examples, particularly from an elemental perspective. So we hope you do enjoy it. It's absolutely amazing. I think it's amazing, but I'm biased because this is the Bonestone.
And you know, we did we are like, for the star card, I know we initially started off with having a female representation, but then I know there were, I know Patrick, and there was somebody else who actually, they were mentioning incorporating a male aspect. So we do listen. We're not like going off on our.
Exactly right. I'm just typing in a beautiful comment here to go. Yes, go yes. Okay, so
we have one more.
We have one more. I'm trying. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm moderating as I go. There's a lot of chat going on here. There's about 46. There's 46 people watching right now. So there's a tremendous amount of traffic going on. I love it. I love you all. And we're going to power on. I just punched my computer unnecessarily. We're going to move on to our secret card now.
Our secret card.
Our secret card. Our secret card. Can anyone guess? Can anyone?
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yes.
Guess which one? Can you guess which one it is? Does anyone? Can anyone guess which one?
No one's daring.
Excuse me.
It's like crickets.
Crickets. Well, there's a slight delay. There's a slight time delay that occurs. Anyways, I'm assuming that you have you might have a little idea. There's not that many cards left to go, so there could be a little something out there. All right, let's go for it. We are unveiling.
Okay, we're gonna tell you. It's the Temperance card.
It's the Temperance. The Temperance.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk about this one. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll start.
You start.
I'll go.
We'll do our thing. You start. I'll mute my mic.
So this is the Temperance card, and for Temperance, we decided to use an hourglass, but not just any hourglass. It's an hourglass that balances both life and death together, and the elements of alchemy. And we have the whole concept of the creation of something new being birthed. And so here we have a bone hand, hint, hint, bone stone, right? And also a hand that is reminiscent of the Empress card, if you remember the Empress, where you had the hand almost cupping the belly of the Empress. So we are balancing both death and life by that. The background, so everything is taking place in this almost like a foresty area. So I'm going to try and bring it a little closer. The only problem is when I do bring it closer, it kind of clips off part of the image. So there we go. And so yeah. Oh, and the material, we were going for a brassy, antique-y looking hourglass, something that can withstand time.
Yes.
All right.
Did you see how big I was smiling the whole way through? I was just like, I had this really, it was a really unnatural smile, but I was just like, couldn't help it. I just held it there for ages. I'm so stoked about this because the idea for this one, it came through conversation. And then once that seed had been planted, a little bit like the aces, once the seed of possibility, the quintessence of the card had been planted, then it began to work on my subconscious, and I started to having these like really weird dreams about this particular one where I saw it brass and I saw it as wood, and it was very Baroque. Now, the Baroque is a throwback to my childhood. I grew up in a house full of antiques. My grandmother was a huge antique collector, so all of our furniture was very Baroque, very antique, very wood, very leather, very gnarled and studded, and everything was just, it was this weird thing. And this reminded me of, you know, of that era, of that time, right? And then, and also the timelessness, and the skull hand and the branch hand, they were from the beautiful Anna's mind as well, bringing back elements of past cards to infuse them. And then we have water and earth. Now, water, as we know, is the conduit to the divine. It is that way to see through to the other side. And so there's an element of death, there's an element of other, there's an element of veil to the water. And then the earth and the life budding from the earth is nourished by that water. It's nourished by that divinity. So you have this earth and water, this life and death aspect, the alchemy. The vessel is of brass. It's of timelessness. The setting is of green, deep earth, of forested regions. And the precipice is about the potential and the possibility that envelops the entire card in and of itself. And so... Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. Sorry, guys. That's all I've got for the moment. I'm going to cough. Anna.
So, yeah, this is what we have. And now I don't know if this is going to come through. Probably not, but I'm going to try and kind of keep it. I used some of the paints are actual, they shimmer. So you can't really... I'm hoping that
shimmer
some
paint.
of it will pick up. It's like shimmer paint. Yeah, it's like gold, like gold.
Are they
watercolor
or watercolor?
Hmm?
Did you use the? Is that the Daniel Smith Primatech watercolor with the?
Yeah, that's what I'm working with. Yeah. That's what I have. Like, this is the. I got all his. I got the colors and I just pour them in here because
I'm crazy. If you okay, I have to tell you this. You know what? It's probably better that she should tell you, but I'm that enthusiastic that I'm going to go ahead in and she can fill the gaps out for you. But Daniel Smith does the best watercolors, in my opinion, and I'm not an artist, but in the world, because he has a range called Primatech, which is literally the pigment of ground down crystal. I'm talking amethyst, I'm talking sugilite, I'm talking hematite, all of the crystals that we know and love and that we have on our sacred areas, on and in and around our sacred areas. He's ground them down and turned them into watercolor, so you have actually the essence of crystals. You have the essence of crystals, and there's the essence of crystals in the Bonestone. So yes. Shut your face. That's awesome.
I thought you might like that, but yes. And you know who turned me on the Daniel Smith?
Who?
It was Kelly from the Truth in Story. She was doing her Lenormand, and I think she did the Cloud card. So Kelly's doing a Lenormand. She did a Lenormand.
Kelly.
She used the water, and I saw the Cloud card, and I'm like, what did she use? I'm like, I have to have that.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
So I asked her, and of course, a day later, and $200 minus in my pocket, I am walking around with Daniel Smith.
These iridescent, these beautiful iridescent, crystal-based magical colors. I mean, holy doolies. That's all I've got to say. Holy doolies. And that's a beautiful thing to have included. And now you know. There's that story. There's that story. Even in the paint, there's a bit of magic. There's a bit of earth. There's a bit of,
there is.
Special deck, guys. I'm not just saying that because it's mine, but it's extra special because it's mine. And it was extra special because Anna worked on it, and it's the best deck in the whole wide world, just saying.
I still have lavender because yesterday, just like a little bit of crazy here, okay? Just so you know who you're dealing with. I have lavender growing, right? And I have some dried, and I ground a bunch of lavender. And when I was working on the Temperance card, I'm thinking, I think it needs a little bit of lavender. So before I started working on it, I'm like grinding and I'm like sprinkling it with lavender, trying to like get the energy of the card kind of going. And I cleared it off, but that just a little bit of
there's a behind the scenes magic. There's There's some behind the scenes magic. Yes, we're all very earth-centric here. We're very earth-centric, so you're going to have some strong earth foundations, crystals, herbs, incantations, sigils. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Well, guys, we're at that stage now. We're at that stage. We have unveiled our Temperance card, which, judging from the comments, you approve. 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up from me there. So thank you for your support and your kind words. And now, what card would you like to see next? What card? Throw us your requests, and we might do 1. We might do 2. It's 11:11 at my time, so maybe we will do 2.
Yep.
All right, what do we got? What do we got? I'm just going to read some comments. Oh, honeymoon glow. Those paints are everything. You are absolutely right. Thanks, sweet Susie. We are incorporating lots of magic. Queen of Swords. Keep it to the mages, Alora. Of course she's going to say Queen of Swords. Of course she's going to say Queen of Swords. Jessie says Hangman. Divine Gypsy says Hangman. Tori says Sun. Keep it to the mages, guys. Let's finish off the mages. Hangman, Hangman. I think we're winning on the... Oh, Chase says the wheel.
The wheel.
The wheel. The wheel. The wheel. Oh, we're Hangman wheel. Hangman wheel. Hangman's still winning, guys. Hangman is solidly winning. If you have your suggestions, type them in now. We've got wheel. A couple of wheels. Got a couple of wheels. Oh, I'm so excited. Whichever way this goes. The wheel's really getting up there. I think it's a tie. Wheel, Hangman, damn it. All right, how about we do then the wheel and the Hangman? What do you reckon?
Okay.
Okay, so the Hangman came first in his, like everyone was really there with the Hanged Man. Why don't we kick it off with him and then we'll finish it off with the wheel.
Oh, Kelly, look, Kelly's here. Hi, Kelly.
Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Kelly from the Trinity.
Funny you should say that, Kelly. Kelly's voting for Odin as the hangman. Guess what,
Let me just tell you this. There is never, ever going to have been this circumstance with the creation of this deck where Odin was not going to be the Hanged Man. He was the only certainty from the very beginning. Odin as the Hanged Man. Now, those who have ever had a reading with me and have had the pleasure of seeing the Hanged Man card come up, they will have heard my associations with Odin and the Hangman. And so those two had to come together. And guess who's going to be our Hanged Man?
Odin.
I wish I had a drum roll. I should have had a drum roll. I'll just inject my throaty cough for you there. All right. So Anna and I, we've talked about this card on and off, have we not? We've talked about it.
Yep.
So we have a pretty good idea of how we're going to do this. And so with Odin, his presence is paramount. His face is paramount to this process. And so we wanted it to be very intimate, to have that proximity, to have the faciness of it. And so that's what we have decided to go with in short. So rather than your usual full suspended image where you see the entire body, we've gone right up close to hands and face and the detail aspect there. So when we think of Odin, we think of All Father, and he has such a rich narrative throughout his particular cultural heritage, and of course outside of his, geographical area of origin. So I should have just said bioregion then. That's all right. I'm a bit clouded by snot. And so he is typically depicted with the injured eye. He is depicted with raven. He's depicted with staff. He's depicted as, you know, of warrior, of keeper. There are aspects where he is, you know, where he is both man and woman, balancing perfectly the masculine and feminine. There are aspects where he's gallantly male and, you know, has a strength. He's never really depicted as very tall and sinewy. He's very much a solid figure that you can grab onto and feel strength from. And so we wanted to bring that sovereign aspect, and we wanted to bring the close up. So, oh, he's bearded as well, isn't he? In most of the stories, he's the black hat, the beard, the crow, like he's, you know, in most of his depictions. I invite you to Google him to see for yourself the myriad of ways that he has been depicted. But we want the up close faciness of it. So what do you reckon, Anna? What do you reckon? Talk to me about the geometric aspect.
I'm thinking, okay, I'm seeing something moody. Okay, so and that I'm thinking through shadow and light, like some type of a contrasty, like if we have a shot from about here, like if we see this part, okay, so I don't know what you guys can see from me, but if you guys can see just this part, the hands that are bound, and then just the face, obviously flipped, because it's flipped upside down. So then you'd have this focus of the hands, even if you don't see the entire hand, right? If you just see like a close-up like this, and you just see the binding. You could even do something with the binding.
The infinity binding.
You could have knot magic incorporated in that if you have any particular, like the number of knots. I don't know if you...
9 knots. 9.
So something like that. Yeah. The more you...
I would like to see him with runes coming up his arm. Like as though because in the story, he hangs for 9 days, 9 nights from the Yuzrael, and the wisdom of the runes come to him. He channels the wisdom of the runes. And so I would like that wisdom to come from the earth upward. And so if they could start to make their way up his arms, you know, that would be the everything.
And then we said 9 knots, right?
9, yeah.
And we're focusing on the face.
I went for 9 because 9's a powerful number. He also hung for 9 days, 9 nights. See what I did there?
Now, so I'm thinking, if you have a different direction, then please, you know, stop me. But I'm thinking to have him like almost like it's happening almost like in a night scene. So you can kind of like the night and around, so everything, even though you don't see it'll be like dark, and then his face is going to be illuminated, his arms are going to be illuminated, kind of what's happening right now in the star card. So if you didn't see the star card, so kind of like this, okay, so you can see him, but this is obviously going to be a close-up of him, so you're going to see more of him. It's not going to be as dark.
I would like to inject just very briefly here, as I would like that background to be very dark. I would also like it, if it's at all possible, to have the inclusion of black crow feathers, like to create the Black Knight aspect.
Yeah.
The element of crow is most certainly there, because I feel that's a very important aspect.
So when you see, it doesn't have to be, well, let's see, because maybe depending how he's positioned on the card, maybe we can actually have from the bottom, you know, the card goes from the bottom, maybe we can have either a wing come through, or maybe part of the beak kind of coming through.
I think the wing, definitely the wing aspect of it. But yeah, so I figure if he's hanging and all you've got is the back, I really want to make that shot very intimate, very face. So if he could, it just be layered feathers, really black, so you can barely notice it, but you do subtly notice it, like, and that's your back black drop. Is that possible? Is that a thing? Can that be done?
What, the wing? Yeah, the wing is going to be easy to incorporate in a black background, because what I usually do is I'll put a little bit of blue. Here, hold on. Hold that thought.
Wow me with that. So yay, we're excited. We're excited. We're doing Odin. We're interacting with this majestic narrative. It's important, isn't it?
All right, so this is the Magician card. Remember, we had a raven in here. Where's the raven? Here it is. I got to switch so I can see myself. Okay, so where's the raven? Here it is. Okay, the raven is with blue. So the feathers of the raven can be, like, you can have the raven in a black background, because what I'm most likely going to do is I'm going to put tints of blue, maybe even incorporating some metallic paints in it to just kind of pop it, depending on how it looks.
Yes, you should. Blah, 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 blah. The metallics. That's the word I was looking for. Yes. Yes. I like that. All right.
So, okay. So are we thinking of having a patch on him? Yes?
Yes. Ragged patch.
Well, while I'm drawing him up, while I'm sketching him up, do you want to go through some samples of the hangman or some description of the hangman?
Yes, I will. I'm going to go to my book. What is it? What am I looking for? 140.
And guys, just a reminder, all the sketches that I'm doing, the final sketches, not these rough sketches that we're doing in live. These are rough sketches, but the final pencil sketches before I go to ink, those you will be getting it in the first 78 people will be receiving, or pre-ordering the deck will be receiving the sketches.
That's right. That's going to be our limited edition. Our limited edition will be the 78 limited edition sketches. So we only have their originals, so we're not going to reproduce those. So they will be released first, and then the pre-release will be second.
Yes.
The pre-order, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So with the Hanged Man, let's get into it. Let's talk with his. Let's work with his energy for a little bit. The Hanged Man is one of those cards that when you're flipping through the deck of tarot, he's upside down. He's the one card that's upside down. Now, depending on whether or not you use reversals or you don't use reversals, the whole Hangman being upside down can kind of like discombobulate the flow of things. And there's a reason for that. He is discombobulating. He brings this element of suspension, and not necessarily in the best way possible, but yes, in the best way possible. So he has this mandatory break. Things are just stuck with the Hanged Man, and that could be for various reasons. And of course, if you're reading this in a spread, in a reading, then the cards that are around the Hanged Man will generally hint to his energy, to the circumstance. But the aspect of suspension and the aspect of blockage is something that is oftentimes twisted and morphed across time. So what the Hangman meant back in the day is not necessarily what the Hangman means now. Now, one of my best, probably my most favorite and potentially more used depictions or descriptions or explanations of the Hanged Man energy is, there's direction with the Hanged Man. There is absolutely direction. There's always motion. The tarot moves. It moves you forward. It locates blockages so that you can move forward. Like it's a journey aspect. It is, you know, the 78 cards of life and the human experience there. So there's always a movement aspect to it. But when you get to the Hangman, you have to identify the blockages that are beginning to manifest in your life. And so, like I said, one of the best explanations, the simplest breakdown is when you're stuck in a traffic jam. You are in the car, you are moving, or on a bike, or a motorbike, or on a bus, you know, but you are moving. The intention is to move. You're stuck for the moment though, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating if you want to be somewhere. It's frustrating if you're running, you know, late. It's frustrating if, you know, there are very few times where you can be stuck in a traffic jam and go, all's good. I've got time. I might just read a book. It does happen, but not always. Sometimes it's like, oh shit, I've got to pee and I'm stuck in a traffic jam. Oh my God, I'm going to be late for my job interview. I'm stuck in a traffic jam. My wife is having a baby. I'm stuck in a traffic jam. And so you have all these circumstances where the standstill that can oftentimes come when the Hangman appears is inconvenient. It does not mean that you will never ever move again. It just means that there's going to be a pause, a moment of blockage, something to interrupt the flow. And that's all well and good. You know, many people understand that. However, there is wisdom behind that. The blockage is there as a shoeing, as a divine hand to allow you the opportunity to look within, to better understand the processes that are going on in your inner world, to allow you the time to sit with those inner processes and to work through those inner processes so that your emotions do not get the best of you as you are traversing the rest of your day or the circumstance in which you are journeying through at that particular point in time. And so when we look at Odin and its association, and its association to the Hanged Man, the Odin, his aspect was a sacrifice. An inconvenient sacrifice, wounded, Yisrael, 9 days, 9 nights, no food, no water. And the wisdom of the runes came to him. Something came to him from that sacrifice. Something came to him from that moment of pure suspension, for that lengthy process of suspension. Something came to him, something important, something that is now such a staple in the world, whether you're a person that likes to use divination or you're looking at the runes from a alphabetic point of view or you're looking at the runes from a richly historic point of view, then, you know, you have access to that. You have access to that really important narrative. Did I just go on a big ramble? Did I just go too far? Anyways, that's my own associations. Let me bring you to the wisdom of my favorite. Here we go. Okay, so I take this from the Tarot Wisdom, Rachel Pollack. She's my, hallelujah, she's the only person I would ever fangirl over. Okay, so we have, the reason why I'm doing this is because she has a breakdown of the Hanged Man from a historic point of view. So she has a few different associations, a few key words, just to show the evolution of the energy of the Hanged Man from a historical, moving on forward to a modern perspective. And Rachel Pollack was one of those tarot enthusiasts, authors, experts, whatever you want to call her, that really did put a modern twist on the tarot, and it was a fantastic bridge to the tarot. So, excuse me. Apologizing ahead for the sniffles. Okay, so we have here excerpted from the Mystical Origins of Tarot by Paul Hewson. Here we go. The Pratices Cartomancer, 1750. The Traitor and Betrayal. See? Demele. 1781. The Hanged Man. Prudence. Court de Giblin. How's my French? Yeah. You're European, Anna. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm like drawing away. Which one?
G.
I'm European.
With the Krasi, Belin. How do you pronounce it?
V.
Is it? You know what? Never mind. Let's move on. 1773 to 82. It's Prudence. Interesting, because prudence is not an associative word that I would use for the Hanged Man, but we shall move. Levi. 1855, the Hebrew letter Lamed, a man hanging by 1 foot. Example, instruction, public teaching. It's kind of got that Hierophant feel there, don't you think? Public teaching, example, excuse me, Christian 1770, Arcanum, the sacrifice, violent death. Arcanum expresses in the divine world the revelation of the law, in the intellectual world the teaching of the duty, in the physical world sacrifice. Now there is the first time that we start to see a little bit of the essence of the word sacrifice, which is definitely something that is very heavily embedded in the aspect of the hangman, a sacrifice. Sometimes it's a sacrifice of time, sometimes it's begging a sacrifice to give up sugar, for instance, to adjust something in your everyday, to create space, to sacrifice something so that something else can come of it. So it's an offering almost. It's a sacrificial offering. Mathers 1888, the hanged man, self-sacrifice, sacrifice, devotion, that which is bound, reversed, selfishness, that which is unbound. Interesting. Golden Dawn 1888 to 96, the spirit of the mighty waters, hanged man or drowned man, enforced sacrifice, punishment, loss and suffering. Excuse me while I grab a tissue. Okay. Grand Orient, wait, 1889 to 1909, hanged man. No, release the character. Yeah, okay. For whatever cause and whatever motive. That didn't make sense to me. Okay, wait. 1910. The hanged man. Wisdom, circumspection, discernment, trials, sacrifice, intuition, divination, prophecy, reversed selfishness, the crowd, the body politic. So we have some more passe types of associative words to go with that. And then we've, of course, got our modern perspectives. Now, if you're an avid tarot reader and a lover of tarot, then you will have your own association, your own experience that could, in your mind, be defined as a hanged man moment. Now, me being a very ritualistic soul, when I start to see the hangman appear in my life in any capacity, then I do my 9 days, 9 nights sacrifice. So I'll sacrifice something to allow myself, something that means a lot to me, something that will make me feel as though I am without, something that will make me feel a bit stuck. At this very moment, and not because of the hanged man, but I just wanted to bring this up. At this very moment, I have a friend of mine, I shan't mention her name, but she is sacrificing for 9 days all external influences. No phone, no TV, no music, no news, nothing. She's just insular at the moment, so that she can allow her creative processes to flow more effectively without comparative mindsets and without allowing the external world to have such a huge impact on the way that she harnesses her creative flow, right? And so the concept of the sacrifice is quite an important one, cross-culturally speaking as well. And there's an element of sacrifice in initiation. There's an element of sacrifice in the creation of life. There is an element of sacrifice to any integral, extremely important life transformation. And so when you are on the cusp of something, you are about to break through to something big. You're bringing into your life, and therefore you must also release. And the hanged man can, not always, but can at times be that reminder that you do need to take a pause and figure out exactly what it is that you would like to sacrifice in order for you to move forward to the next level. And there's always that give and receive, the exchange, that exchange energy. It's my husband. I can't answer it right now. Sorry, love. Sending you love that you can't feel right now.
Okay, I'm ready anytime you want.
Okay.
Okay, like go or okay?
Go. Yes, go.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm like, all right. So I added something, and I'll explain after. All right. So here is the hangman. upside down. Rough sketch, people, rough sketch. Let's bring this down. Obviously, I'll focus more on his face. He is with his face down. I'm going to flip him so you can kind of see. There he is. He has the patch on. There are the hands that are bound, and they are 9 knots. I just drew them in like with pencil so I can remember. They're 9 knots. And you have the wing coming from below. Now, what I added was, what if, you know, if he's holding his hands and he's upside down, what if he's actually, you know, like, if you dig your nails in your hand, what if there's like some blood falling on the raven wing?
Yes.
Maybe too gory.
I love blood.
I just figured, you know, if he's going to be, if you have somebody who's standing like 9 days, you're going to be in pain. So usually you're going to try and, you know,
well, he was wounded
it
from a spear, wasn't he? So he would have blood.
Yeah. Yes, but no, the blood is coming from his. I mean, I could make it from the spear, but I had it as like it's coming from the.
Oh, that works as well. The point is there would be blood there.
So yeah, so that's the card right there, and everything is in dark. So there's dark. You know, there's some dark. You have him illuminated and the wing illuminated with some you know, blue, you know, metallic paint stuff, and this is kind of how much you'd see from him. And you'd have the name of the card at the bottom here. Nice. I do have a rope coming down, kind of exiting the page, the ends of the rope. I didn't know what you wanted to put on his arms. I know you wanted runes, but I figured that you have to think about that. So,
yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say all of them. They will all be there.
All of the runes?
All of them.
Nikki Sparkles, yeah, she's asking, he imprinted the runes with his nails in his own flesh. Well, that's a thought. I like that thought.
It's just the right kind of ghastly that I'm looking for. You know, I would like to actually see the like a crow skull somewhere there as well. Just
you want to see a crow skull?
Can we add just hang on. Just gonna mute because I'm gonna cough. A crow skull.
Crow skull. Well, I could put it in. You know, like there's the background. The background is kind of dark. It's dark. I can have like
skull.
Kind of like a crow skull coming through. You know,
yeah,
but the problem is
instead of a pop of color, just a pop of skull, just a little.
I just don't want to. I don't want to put it in this raven in the wing, because the wing is actually it's with feathers, so it's not like a skeleton wing. So I don't think if it would. I'm thinking maybe right here. Let me look up a crow skull, because I have to look at reference photos sometimes.
I love the way you work. I love the way you work.
We had, you know, like in the background something. And there's the little eye.
Could it be around his neck? Could it be a necklace? It just needs to be a little something there. You know, just a little.
What if it's dangling? What if it's dangling from the rope?
Yes, there you go.
You know, like have a little, like almost like a small, you know, like a baby crow.
Yeah.
Just because it won't fit in the page. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I like that. Just a little, just to say that there is a tiny little bone there somewhere.
Yep. I can put that in. So this would be the rope. And from the rope, you can have kind of like this little little baby skull. I'm gonna start petting it soon. Little baby skull. There's the baby skull. Okay. So from the rope is the little baby skull. There's the skull eye.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just so I can remember, you know, there's going to be a little more detail
We're not
to
killing anyone, Kelly. I promise I'm not killing anything. It's so funny.
All right, let's see what some people are writing here, because a lot of people are having some ideas.
All right, let's go have a little read of what these fantastic creators. There we go. I'm going as far back as a rune on the eye patch, Sea Glitter Ink says. Okay. What is the pre-order? Has it not been announced? Pre-order should be in July, Matthew Alvarez. Dibs on the Emperor card, laughed out loud.
Laura saying, what if the blood is in runic shape? You mean like when it's dropping?
Is it when dropping? He draws it into himself, right? So because I read somewhere else that I can't remember who said it. It will be there, but the runes are floating around him. Yes, Laura, it's a great book. I love the tarot analogies. Okay, fabulous. Thank you. Spell work. Okay. Anything? Okay, so that's the one that I did see. Vines with 9 thorns to cause the blood. Sea Glitter Ink. I like it, but it's too Jesus. It's far too Jesus for my liking. What if the blood is in runic shape? That could work. Or rather a cut. Laura thought the same thing. He imprinted the runes with his nails on his flesh. Nikki sparkles. Like, that's a really good suggestion.
I know. I read that. I was like, yeah.
That gets a clap. That gets a clap from me, Nikki Sparkles. That's just the right kind of attitude. You're really bringing it. Dodia S should hollow the wing? I don't understand it. Okay. I love the hangman being venerable to in his moment of sacrifice. Yes. Fabulous. All right. So we've got a few little more suggestions about the placement of the runes themselves, Anna.
Yep.
And so I'm thinking the arms. But it doesn't have to just be the arms, because all runes on the arms might look a little bit random. So it could be a mixture of runes on the arms, a mixture of just maybe if we embed them everywhere in the picture where possible, it could be the drinking in of the wisdom. Does that say the wrong thing though? That's not the full energy of the card.
Well, I don't know if I'd put all the runes. I think I would choose some strategic runes. Are there any particular things that after the 9, let's go through the mythology of it. So he hanged for 9 days. And what happened after? I'm not that familiar with the story. I mean, I read it a long time ago. So if anybody is more, I'm just trying to think if there's any particular rune that would come into play more than others, I guess.
Well, they're broken up into ayats, right? So 3 ayats. So yeah, it's really let's have a look, because I'm not an Odinist nor a practitioner of Asatru. You know who we need here? You know who would be perfect for this? We need Soren. Where's Soren? Someone go and get Soren. Hang on, my son is knocking on the door here, on the door, the outside door of my office. I just have to go and.
I'm not sure if the tattoo runes will glow, see glitter. It depends how she sees them. I thought they were like tattoos. So I'm not sure if they're going to glow. It really depends.
Okay, where were we? We need let me have a look.
Natalie's saying, I like the idea of not all the runes as he's still in the process of gaining them. He's hanging and in the middle of the sacrifice. So you're saying that he did not get all the runes while he was hanging? You're saying that showing them all will be so he got them after.
Yes.
Well, how are we going to get Elle from Sacred Seed on now?
Hang on, I'm just going to yell at my son. Caspian, knock it off. It's being annoying.
Well, we can always add the runes. See, that's the thing. We can add the runes on him if we just think of where the runes are being placed. Like, so
I like that. I think the where and the.
I need to know if the runes are going to be placed in the, like Alora suggested, having the blood form the runes, which kind of makes sense because if he is going through the process and at the end of the process he's getting the runes, then it would make sense that as the blood is flowing, which is movement, the runes would be coming through. So having like drops of runes fall on the crow's wing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, all right. So definitely not all the runes. We know that now. The placement of the runes, important. The type of rune, important.
Yes.
I think runes should maybe be in blood.
Yes.
I think they should be in blood. And I think that it's a process thing. Even if there was one semi-finished to show, to really emphasize the aspect of process.
Mm-hmm.
There could be one sort of floating in the ether as though that is the next one to come. So it also depicts the process. So everything has a flow to it. So if there's one floating in the ether, if there's a few on his arm already, if there's one on his arm that's just being carved, you know, there is that depicts that element of process. And his suspension is obviously the element of process. The rope bound 9 times, you know, a throwback to the length of time, the blood, the wound. So we've got a fair bit of the narrative in there already, which is fabulous.
So let's do a little research on the runes that would come through, and then because I pretty much add the runes at the end anyway if they are on any on the skin. If they're in the blood, are essential. If the runes that are coming through the blood are essential, then I need to know those first because I will be painting it. I'm using the watercolor, and I kind of need to know what I'm putting in there.
I wonder if there was an order to the runes. I wonder, as it's written, which one came first.
Well.
See, you know what? Just that's a thing for me to research. I'll research that. That's fine.
Okay, so everything else those I'm not gonna when I ink it, I'm not gonna ink that part anyway, so that doesn't really affect. It's not gonna stall the process, but just for you, just know that it can't be finished until we have all the runes.
All right.
No pressure.
The
Jesse Murdoch is saying Fehu usually first. And Juliana is saying there is an order. Okay.
If there's an order, I'll fucking find it. I'm burning through my tissues. I had allocated a certain amount of tissues for this session. Alrighty. All right.
Kelly's asking if he pulled the runes from the well, or does the runes from though that they are coming from him? I don't think they're coming from him. I think that through his sacrifice, and you know, in this sense, you see blood spilled. He's gaining them, and it's kind of hard to show not the actual process of gaining knowledge. Like if you have a movie, right? If you have a 3-dimensional, if you have like something that would show time lapse, then you could show in the future. So the process of gaining it is very hard to show in a drawing, unless you have some kind of fluidity, and literally fluid. So showing it dripping through a fluid is showing the process of it coming through, if that kind of explains it.
Yeah.
Aside from actually, you know, having a well.
I'm thinking. Sorry, I was just doing a bit of reading as we were talking there. And I'm thinking that there are certain runes that do depict that sort of standstill, that frozen moment, and East, which is the straight line, is one of them. It represents the, you know, from the bitter winter point of view, that very middle point. So I think that's definitely one that should be in there for its symbolic value. I'll choose them, but I do think that the way that they are often depicted in an alphabetized sense would stand to reason that that's the way that they came to him, you know, starting from the beginning, as we see them oftentimes written in the Elder Fusak alphabets that we see about. That would probably be the order, but I will double check that because I would like to be certain of that.
Well, I mean, this is just one way. The other way I was thinking that you could show a relationship to water, I guess, would be if he had tears falling through from his eye, and the tear itself would form it. So that is kind of, you could have a play on, you know.
He's a powerhouse figure, so we need a powerhouse card. All right. Well, let's put a pause on this one because we have the outline for it, and then the rest really relies on the research, and I'll research.
Okay.
All right. So that's just the detail. So we have the depiction, we have the face, we have the bound arms, we have the inclusion of something about, sorry, my Nortons just did something. Okay, so right. We have the outline. That's right. We have the outline of the Hanged Man. Everything's there. He's going to be up close, bound, face, the eye patch, detailed face, beard, the whole kit and caboodle. There'll be elements of crow there, and the runes will be there. Some will be in blood, some will not be in blood. Let's see how we go with those little details. That can be the surprise for you. All right. Let's move on to the wheel.
Woohoo!
All right. So with the wheel, I wanted to bring in the essence of the weavers. So the fates, the Norns, if you will. And Anna had the brilliant idea to remove the wheel.
Don't hate me.
That is something that I really liked because I wanted to bring the aspect of weaving to be very strong. And so the placement of the three Norns, varying parts of the card, doing various things, but hanging on to the luminescent strand, and each one weaving an aspect into life. And so the symbolism could be there for each one, which is something that came out of the brain of the beautiful Anna, that the three Norns. I wanted to go for the Norns, the fates.
Yeah. Ooh. And we don't have to show the face. here's the thing. The reason I suggested removing the wheel is because I think we focus too much on the wheel, the aspect of the wheel. I mean, I think we're supposed to focus on what the wheel actually means, which is the stages of life and how it is in a circular. It has a system, right? But not so much on the actual wooden wheel. And a lot of the cards that I see, you got the wheel. And I was thinking, like, maybe we could just move a little bit from that and have the weaving aspect of it and the 3 stages, but just remove the wooden thing.
Yes, which is very clever and a good use of space, and also brings in more of that weaving aspect. So processes being changed because each of the Norns hold quite an energy. Their names: Erd, Vedandi, Skuld. So Erd, what once was; Vedandi, what is coming into being; and Skuld, what shall be. So very much the essence of the wheel, would you not say? Does anyone disagree with me? Because I'm perfectly fine with being challenged.
No, we're afraid of you. So, okay, so if you want to have the focus on the, you know, the thread that's being woven, right?
Yeah.
English is my second language, folks. So I will be saying some things that are totally off.
What she just said.
Yeah. So if we focus on if we have the thread and they're doing something with this thread, right? You have the 3 of them, and they're each a different state, right? They're in a stage. I mean, maybe they can each be doing something. Like one is focusing on the thread, one is doing something with it, another one is letting it drop. You know,
I think so. Once was. So if we do Erd as something letting it drop, as like releasing it or it going back into the earth. And then Dundee, what shall be coming into being, so that can be woven in front. And then what shall be will be something a little bit more like pulling it down from like the ether as to what shall be. And a special emphasis on hands here, like the weaver hands and the weaving of the cord. Everything matters. Like the aspect of weaving from a cross-cultural point of view is very magical, people, and lots of fingers are used. When they weave in Brazil, just about every finger is used to create this woven thing, right? I don't know how to do it, and I don't have long enough fingers because my dad's Australian and he gypped me on the gene. But it's a thing. It's a thing.
So, okay, so talk to me. What are you seeing? I'm seeing, okay, so here's the thing. If we want to make this moody, right? If you want the thread to be focused on, like if you want it to glow, for instance, if you want the thread to glow, almost like you know, a thread of gold or something, right? If you want it to glow, then kind of like what we have going on in the Hermit, you know how she has the constellation floating above her palm?
Yeah.
Kind of glowing. Okay, so if you want that, since they're holding the thread on their hands, then your front part of the card, so from the bottom of the card, so this is your card, from the bottom of the card where the font, where the type is going to be, up to about midway, maybe a little bit, it's going to be pretty much in the dark. And since you do have these hooded figures, so what you're going to have is dark, you're going to have the thread, and then you're going to have their hands so lit up, right? You're going to have their thread, hands, and then you're going to have, you can see them, their hoods and everything. Almost like in a haze, I'm seeing like a haze, like almost like if you were in a fog.
Yeah. Well, that's
But
kind
it's
of how I saw it. I saw it as evening landscape and the weeping willow in the background and very like misty and you know, very dark from the bottom, and the creatures veil, like the cloak of the Norns, they blended into the floor. It's almost like they were just part of the entire image, and
yeah.
you know, forming the hands coming out, that beautiful luminescent strand doing its weaving thing, the hooded figures, you know, there might be an element of nose or chin, you know, popping out at one stage, in which case, you know, go with
Because
it.
I don't think it's important. Their faces are not that important. So I'm thinking eliminating any, that's why, you know, you don't want the focus to be on their faces, because that's
no,
not
you don't.
the most important part is what they are doing and how they are taking it, they're working it, and they're releasing it, or, you know, making it. So how, okay, so I'm just going to write this down just so I can clarify it a little bit in my mind. So we have Dundee. What's Dundee we're doing?
Okay.
Dundee is releasing.
Okay, here we go. Erd, what once was. That's URD, what once was. The Dundee, what is coming into being. And Skuld, what shall be.
Okay. Okay, so, well, Erd would be releasing, so it'd be dropping. Maybe you could even see it kind of go into the ground. Maybe it can, well, here, all right, so hear me out. No matter how the wheel is moving, all of our experiences are being used. So whether you're down, all the way down in your life, right, and you have crappy things happening to you, when you're going to be back at the top of the wheel, you will have that information, that knowledge behind you. So even though it is moving and it is turning, you're also gaining in the process. It's almost like it's a constant, I guess I'm seeing it like a tornado kind of effect, right? So it starts off,
Yeah.
and then it kind of grows. But if Erd is dropping the thread, when it hits the ground, maybe it can kind of spread something, because it's, even at the lowest point, you are still learning something, and that in itself is gaining, I guess.
That's
So
right.
even when you're losing, you're gaining. So if we can show that in a way that even though the past is being released and gone or cut, you know, like somebody dying, right? If somebody dies, theoretically, you know, I mean, yes, they're dead, but when buries, the energy is going back into the earth. It's being reused. There's something done with it. So if she's releasing, Honey Moon Glow is saying she's releasing to the earth the tree roots. Yes, exactly. So if she's releasing to the earth, it can become, yes, it will go back into the earth. So if we release the thread to the earth, then that can work in that way. So that's with
exactly
Earth, what I'm thinking. And then with Dundee she can be weaving. She's holding it still, right? Because it's present.
Yeah.
It's what's coming, but it is at the same time not something in the past, and not something. It's mostly factual, I guess would be the word. So if there's anything that you want to do with that thread, do you want it to form something? Maybe it can form like a phoenix, or, you know, it can have some shape. Maybe we can give it something, or we can just leave it. We can leave it as static and, you know, like a line. You could even incorporate one of those heartbeats, you know, that you see.
Yes, you could. Like on the echo.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Yeah, no, I like the depiction of the evolution. I like the continuative effect, the effect of continuation. I can't articulate myself at the moment. Yeah, I was fixated for a moment on what Kelly said. Oh, I've got a fever. I was fixated by what Kelly said, and she said that the Norns typically sit at the base of the Yisrael, and the Yisrael is an ash tree. So if we could add an aspect, or even the trunk of an ash, just something in there, the mistiness of it, the continuative effect of the weaving, as though that which has been released, that which is coming into, which is the now, and that which is coming into being. I think that, definitely like cloaked creatures, they all have to be positioned quite differently. Like the one who's releasing could be very much looking down. The one who is present could be like forward facing, like full focus. And the one that's coming into being is going to be reaching for that strand and holding it. So I think there's that continuation, and then the strands can just continuously go. So there will need to be a really excuse me. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and I'll sketch. But did you? Okay, so you're good with the glow part of it. Just so
yes. Do you happen to have moon glow? Is that one of the colors that you've got in your Primatech collection? Because that shit is banging.
No, I should write down. I should do like a color chart, but I don't. I pretty much. I'm ashamed. I take the tube, I squeeze out the tube, and that's it. I don't know what.
Shameful. That's
what color I'm using. I don't do any color chart or anything, which is detriment. It's not good, because the other day I ran out of a particular color, and I didn't know what color it was because I didn't do the chart, so I didn't know what I was using. So there you go. But
I'm asking because moon glow has an iridescence that I'm thinking of in my mind.
I might have it. If I don't, I could just go get it. I'm sure they have it. I have to go. To see. Let me see. Do I have
all right. I have to pee. So
no.
I'll be back in a micro minute. Anna's going to talk to you about her creation.
Okay. So, are you guys good with this wheel card? Kelly, what were you thinking about the tree? I have wild ideas, but my ideas tend to be a little bit out there. So, how will you show the concept of a circle? So once what is past is released, where does it go? I mean, okay, so we were just thinking that I wrote it down. Oh, Erd. Okay, so no, hold on. Oh, yeah, Erd. Yes, Erd. Would be releasing the thread, so she'd be holding the thread, kind of looking down and like dropping instead of you holding it with two hands. One hand would be to the side because it's like she's letting it go. So the end of the thread would be going to the ground, and perhaps incorporating some, like having it kind of merge with the earth, or get rooted in the earth in a way. So that would be one idea, to have it become something else as it's being released. Okay. Yeah, Kelly, you want to send me the container? Yeah, I probably have it. I just don't write, I don't write it down. I should look. Let's see. Now I can't open it. Hold on. Moon glow, moon glow. Is it this one? Hold on. Let's see. Is it this one right here? Sorry, this one. The pale one. The really pale type of
Oh, thanks for that. I just got told what my sister's looking after my little one, and she just told me that my son was throwing pillows at our TV, and the TV came forward. We have a massive TV, which we've only just recently brought into the lounge room, and it came forward, and she had to race to brace our flat screen. I'm like, oh my God. All right. What did I miss?
So I was just showing the moon glow that I think is the moon glow. I'm not sure if it's the moon glow.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm not. I know that that she cuts the string, but I'm thinking that, you know, having it kind of go back into the earth.
I think
Because okay, so if we have it glowing, so it's active, right? Glowing would be active. So if it's glowing, right, she's holding the thread and it's glowing. Okay, so pretend that this is the thread. So this is the thread, and she's holding it, and the one that's dropping, so the thread is dropping, and as it's dropping, it's changing color, and it's turning dark, and it's going into brown, and it's going into the earth. So it's no longer having the glow.
I like it. I think it needs to be that. Yeah, I think it needs to be continuous. I think it needs to be an evolution.
Because otherwise, you would need to show it somehow being cut off, being, you know,
yeah, which I'm not down with. All right. So you think you've got moon glow, hey?
Well, if I don't, you know, now I'm curious. So now I'm gonna have to, after this chat, I'm probably gonna look online and see if I have it. I'm gonna go through all my paints and then see if I have it. But I remember buying something with that name, so
you might have it.
There are 3 yellows in my pan, Kelly. There was a very bright yellow, orange yellow, and then there was a off yellow, like a moony, like a moony yellow.
A moony yellow. I think this is more like a purpley though. I'm pretty sure moon glow has like a purple base.
Purpley, you probably don't have it, so I will go get it.
But it doesn't necessarily come out purple. Like it comes out moon glow.
Matthew Alvarez is saying,
as you can see, I went to University for Fine Arts. I know what I'm talking about.
Matthew is saying, this is random, but I like the idea of threads and spider webs. Well, like how spider webs can have points and so does fate, or how web is also like, well, interesting you should say that, because I remember Avalon thinking about the webs and the web spider webs.
That was one of my
I remember that was one of your
spider.
Yes.
I'm rather friends with spiders. Spiders are my friends. And so I wanted to put a big, beautiful one and have that as the web, but then it's a little bit too, who did it? Who's done that one? Was it the Wild Unknown? No,
Wild Unknown. Yeah.
There was some, it had been done. It was done. It was done. The Nords have also been done, but they will continuously be done. And so
I'm going to start putting it out, okay?
All right, and I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do my thing when I leave this business. All right, so we're going to go. Tarot wisdom. Tarot wisdom. I had a person rant at me the other day that I should never recommend a Rachel Pollack book for a beginner. And I'm like, well, if the beginner has half a brain, then they will want to know about the history and origins of tarot from every perspective. And therefore, I'm not the best person to confront when coming to Rachel Pollack books. All right, so we have Demellet, 1781, the Wheel of Fortune, the injustice of the fickle goddess. Why does the goddess get the bad rap? Why does the goddess have to be fickle? Why isn't it the injustice of the fickle god? That's very sexist, just saying. Court de, we don't know how to pronounce that last name, 1773 to 82, the Wheel of Fortune. Levi, 1855, the Hebrew letter Yod, the Wheel of Fortune. Principle, manifestation, praise, manly honor, phallus, virile fecundity, paternal scepter. Read my mind. Read my mind. Oh my gosh. Okay, Christian, that's a good one. 1870, Arcana. The Sphinx, fortune, a wheel suspended by its axle between two columns. On the right, Hermanubis. Hermanubis. The Greco-Egyptian god composed of Hermes and dog-headed Anubis. The spirit of good strives to climb to the top of the wheel. On the left, Typhoon or Typhon. The Greco-Egyptian Set, the spirit of evil, is cast down. The Sphinx, balance on the top of the wheel, holds a sword in its lion's paw, personifying destiny, ever ready to strike left or right, according to the direction in which it turns the wheel. The humblest rises, and the highest is cast down. It's a little bit of Robin Hood there, isn't it? Mathers, 1888. The Wheel of Fortune, good fortune, success, unexpected luck, reverse, failure, unexpected, good luck. Interesting. Golden Dawn, 1888 to 96. The Lord of Forces of Life. The Wheel of Fortune, good fortune, a qualified happiness. Interesting. The Grand Orient, wait, 1889 to 1909. Wheel of Fortune, mutation, revolution, the external side of fortune. And wait, 1910, Wheel of Fortune, fortune, success, elevation, luck, happiness, reverse, increase, abundance, and superfluity. Can't pronounce it. Don't worry about it. I'm not even going to push myself. All right. So when we look at the Wheel of Fortune, we're looking at the aspect of chance as some of these more historic tidbits come into play. There's an aspect of the weak shall rise and the mighty shall fall. So there's an element of unexpected timing there, of the swift revolution of events, how one thing can change ever so suddenly. And if the wheel spins, it can either be to your favor or to your detriment. So there's that aspect of chance. It's like the wild card. You just don't know in which sort of way the energy of the wheel will manifest to you, which is why when you're in a reading, when you have your cards out on a table, the cards that are surrounding will naturally lean to the insight necessary to complete that evolution. Will it be a positive? Will it be a negative? Will it be a perpetually negative? Will it be a negative with, you know, potential for positive outcomes, etc., etc.? So I think that the Wheel of Fortune can be one of the trickiest cards to get to know, the energy to get to know, because there is no state of constant with the Wheel of Fortune. It is evolution, it is movement, it is change perpetually. And as we know, we can go through cycles of really good positive change, and that those cycles could last years and years, and all of a sudden, bang, something happens. We just go through a run of bad luck. And that's just the way that it is, right? That's life. That's the natural evolution of life. We have our ups, we have our downs. The Wheel of Fortune, however, is the rudder that changes direction. So when the energy enters your life, the energy of the Wheel of Fortune, like, it's almost like I'll have more of a reaction to the Wheel of Fortune than I ever will to the Tower. The Tower, death, they don't bother me, but the Wheel of Fortune, the unknown aspect of the Wheel of Fortune, is very, very much disconcerting to me, because I'm like, I'm a Taurus. I don't like change. I don't like change. So the concept of change, you know, I'm a fixed earth sign. If that doesn't say, yeah, I don't like change, nothing does, right? So I don't enjoy the energy of the Wheel of Fortune. It is a necessary energy. All things do change. Evolution is necessary. The continuous flow of energy within my life is necessary, but I don't like change. So my relationship with the Wheel of Fortune is probably different to others' relationship with the Wheel of Fortune. And when I see it in a reading, I'm thinking to myself, oh, the Taurus in me says, you know, don't fuck with my stability. That's my root chakra. You're taking my sense of solidity. You're taking my, it thrusts me into survival mode, and it challenges the security of a situation. That's what I was reaching for. It challenges the security of a situation. And that challenge could be a positive and it could be a negative. Now think very carefully in your life at this moment in time. When has your security been challenged? It could be that you were just abruptly fired and you're like, oh my God, well, you know, what am I going to do here for income? How am I going to support myself? That's a huge challenge. That's a massive challenge. Likewise, it's, oh, I'm having a baby. That's a change. That's a huge change and a challenge in and of itself. And, you know, these are all aspects of life where, you know, you can have this positive and negative aspect of change. And it's a beautiful thing. Change is a beautiful thing, despite the fact that I have a very hard time with it. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, bye, Juliana. If you have some great examples of a tango with the Wheel of Fortune, then by all means, leave it in the comments. In the meantime, I personally love the depiction of the Wheel of Fortune in various different cards. I think that you can get very creative with that. And I think that by looking very carefully at the artwork across the Wheel of Fortune artwork, you know, across decks, that you'll come to learn a little bit of something intimate about the artist itself, because change is something that we all have to deal with in our own way, and each person has a reaction to change. Some will have this like excitement, they will thrive on change. Others will be like me, set in the mud, and everything is very, no, I don't want to, and I'm tense, and then there'll be varying levels, the spectrum of in between. And so depending on the nature of the artist creating these various decks, you will get to see an insight, a relationship between the artist and the concept of change, the concept of chance, the concept of fate, all of these beautiful things that come into play when we're looking carefully, examining very carefully the Wheel of Fortune. So Gypsy Divine is easygoing. As a Taurus, to me, the wheel feels like a rug being pulled out from under me. I might fall, I might be saved, I might misstep slightly, but it freaks me out. See, from another earth sign, from another fixed earth sign. What else have we got? Oh, thanks, Honeymoon Glow. Paternal stepchild, oh my God. I know, right, Tori? If people say should, I tend to stop listening. Oh, hi, Shannon. How you going? My friend Shannon, Talia, Remnants is online right now. Shannon, I haven't WhatsApped you for ages. I'm getting WhatsApp withdrawals. Mind you, I'm not going to WhatsApp you right now because I've got the horrible cough and you'll just hear snot in your ear. The half-brained beginner loves Rachel Pollack. Let me just say, this is a very good book. This is a very, very good book. A very good book, Tarot Wisdom. This and 78 Degrees of Wisdom. 78 Degrees of Wisdom is a little heavier, but Tarot Wisdom is a very all-encompassing kind of book. It has a modern aspect. It has it pays its respects to some history, some historical aspects. Excuse me. What have we got here? To me, it's just change is coming, can't be stopped. I don't like change, but also the chance and good luck aspect and surprise is a good way. So it's kind of excitement as well. I'm a Gemini. Oh, see, 2 minds. Good on you, Gemini. Good on you. That's a positive. That's a positive. And of course, you know, thanks to our roulette wheel, the roulette wheel, and you know, the Wheel of Fortune. They have a little bit of something to do with each other. So there could be an aspect of luck there, and for various people who like to gamble, who like to go to casinos, which is it's a thing to do. Like, I'm not a gambler. I actually really don't like gambling at all. I'm not a gambler, so I don't have experience with the roulette, but I have friends who love it. They love to lay a bit of money down on the roulette and just have a little game of chance. And I'm like, but I'm a Taurus. I don't like that kind of stuff. Gambling, to me, is stupid. And I have to be pushed. I have to be pushed in order to do it. And so when the Wheel of Fortune manifests in my own personal readings, I think to myself, right, how am I going to deal with this situation? And it freaks me out. It freaks me out. I don't handle it well, but that's my own shadow stuff. That's my own shadow stuff that I need to deal with.
See, I'm the opposite. I cannot go to Atlantic City. I cannot go to anywhere close to a any type of roulette or anything. I will spend all my money. Like, I will throw it $300 on a spin of the wheel. And because of that, I do not go. I will not. I've learned my lesson. I don't know.
That's so funny. That is so funny. Yeah, I'm definitely not that way inclined. I'll be there. I've had friends that have gone and had their birthdays and they wanted to go to the casino, and I've done that whole thing. But I'm just not that way inclined. And I'm a builder, I'm a doer. I'm not a gambler. I think it's a thing, you know. It's got to be part of your swagger, I think. You know, whatever.
Because I always think that I'm going to pull the level of Elvis, you know, and get like a $1 million wheel. You know, the Elvis machines. Oh
yeah. Oh really my God. Yeah, we call them pokies here. You guys call them slots there. Is that right?
Yes. Slots.
Yeah. They're called pokies. They're called pokies over here because you just sit there poking at the digital buttons like this. Everyone just sits there mesmerized by a screen going like this, and I'm like, read a fucking book. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, smoking, drinking, and pressing buttons. Like, give me the money. And most often than not, what happens is the house takes all, and you go home, and it's unhappy. And then, you know, there's the game of fate. Sometimes you'll go in and you'll win big. Yay!
Okay, I have the wheel.
Go.
Let me just bring up my screen again. Okay, so here's the wheel. Here are the 3 figures. And this is, they're holding, I tried to make it so you can kind of see it. So this will all be like dark. And then this is the thread. And I figured the thread where it begins, it should really also come in from the bottom and end at the bottom, kind of, so you can get that circular idea, right? Because if it starts off somewhere to the side, you don't get the idea of continuity, right? So if we kind of get a circular shape here going, so it goes in, it's going to be glowing. It can change colors, start changing colors in the middle, and then as it's ending, right, as she's releasing, because you only see one hand here, as she's releasing it, it can go into the earth. And then as far as incorporating the tree, you know, so this would be like misty. You could have it like a symbol, like a misty tree in the background, so kind of allude to the oak. Is it oak?
Yep. Ash.
Yeah. Ash, sorry. Or you could have the main figure be the trunk.
Ah. You're just clever, aren't you?
Have the trunk in the middle. Like since it's the middle, since it's the presence, right? Present tense. So.
I'm thinking, could you hold it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was thinking at the very top to just have like just a hint of branches or leafy branch, so that the tree isn't too much of a force there. It's just a more of an aspect of the side coming off from the side, just like a little, a little branch.
The top, or are you thinking the tree that would be behind, or the
tree would be behind, sort of like my hand behind here, and like in the different sort of aspect, just like little branches. Is it possible, though? Is it possible to have them, instead of sort of facing forward, to have them positioned differently and at different heights to create, I think we had once spoken about that, actually, to create one as like sitting, one as, That might have been when we were talking about the wheel, though, wasn't it? We were talking about
that one. Yeah, that one was when we had the wheel inside.
Yeah.
So one tending to the wheel, another one would be in the middle, and then yeah, I figured because if we removed the wheel, right, there's no wheel, and then you would have them straight, because then you could see one holding one middle, and then as it's going down. If I play with their heights, then you'd have to have the one at the end lower because it's closer to the ground.
Yeah. What if we turn them inward? Sort of not inward, but you know, side and then face on, like
You mean the position, you know, like, of the body?
Yeah,
or
like
the face.
Side, and then face on, and then have more elements and something going on in the center. We could do something, you know.
You mean,
I don't know.
So you're almost like if the wheel was there, their positions would be like kind of like if the wheel was there.
Oh, no, I'm just looking to incorporate, a little bit like if the wheel was there, like to incorporate more of that thread, more of the divine thread, as though, you know, how can I describe this? So rather than it being a straight line, to incorporate more movement and more flow through it. So
okay,
coming down, and I want it to be really like loose, like really like, you know, sinuous and loose, like it's floating,
okay,
like very
one after another, like kind of one after. I think I know what you're saying. I think I have an idea of what you're saying. So let me try it and see what happens.
Awesome. I think you do have an idea of what I'm saying. You never don't have an idea of what I'm saying.
Well, don't say that. Don't jinx it.
I knock on wood. I knock on my wood here. Oh my gosh! In the meantime, I've got some cards here. We're gonna do this. Am I gonna do this? I'll see if I can find. And I'm looking at the Green Witch's tarot. I love how the Green Witch's tarot has really renamed some of the it's definitely renamed some of the stuff. Wheel of the Year, that's right. This one was the Wheel of the Year. And so we have the beautiful Wheel of the Year. That's in the Green Witches. And that depicts an evolution of a different kind. So that's life, death, and rebirth depicted in the Wheel of 8, or the pagan wheel of the year, or the Witch's Wheel of the Year for that matter. And I'll go through the Chimonier, which I absolutely love. Ooh, here we go. We have the wheel here, depicted in a very different way. Very acrobatic, very Cirque du Soleil. Didn't take me as long to find that one. Let's have a look in my, oh my God, I just can't go through this deck easily. I need to learn to just go through the deck before we start these broadcasts, but to be fair, you guys choose it, so I don't have time to prep in that way. I don't even want to tell you which deck this is, because when you see it, you're just like, oh my God, that's amazing. Of course it's amazing. Wheel of Fortune from the Marielle. Look at that. And I love this Wheel of Fortune particularly because it brings all of the energy and all of the attention, all of the focus to the womb aspect, but it's also a ship, and it's also like drive and creation. There's the lotus, like there's so much going on here. It's such a trip out, and I really like it. Even the boobs, look at the boobs. They're like little spirals. The nipples are spirals. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Let's have a look. My latest acquisition. Okay. That's 4. I have to really. Awesome. There's some beautiful images in this particular deck. Starting to get a heinously sore throat. Okay. Sorry guys for the looking down and the shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I'm not going to find it, or is it just going to be in the end? Here we go. Fortune. So you've got a hand from above, a hand from below. You've actually got the evolution of the moon, so the lunar cycle there. You have also got moths to depict the evening mystery. You've got roses. You've got a little bobbin. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. I just had the funniest thought then. Imagine if I got every single Wheel of Fortune card from every single one of my tarot decks. I'd need days to prepare. I need a team of people to help me. Anna, you can fly over for a holiday and come and help me.
Just let me know when it's cold. I don't strive. I'm like a flower in the opposite direction. I don't strive in heat. I strive in cold.
Well, see, I can respect that. I can respect that. It's very, very warm. Oh, it's actually cooler today. It's a cool day today. I find that creativity as well ebbs and flows, magic ebbs and flows, focus, concentration, all that stuff. We are of our seasons, are we not?
Yeah.
I tape on my eyelids, holding them open. Oh, Chase, you're still with us. This is well past your bedtime. Chase, for those who don't know, he is a trainer, and he gets up usually at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow. I can't even imagine that.
I know. So he's doing so well. He's doing so well. Well done. Well done. Thanks for the support, brother. I really love it. Love you. Love Laura. Love my little Spread This Witches peeps. We're having a hangout next week, folks, and we're going to be talking to the lovely Arwen, by the way.
Arwen.
So Joy Seeker. Arwen, yes. So she will be on. And we've got some other really fun, exciting stuff happening at Spread This Witches that you might really like to know. Actually, I should read the message. All right. Sorry, I was chatting to both of them prior to this live stream, and then I sent a question and forgot to just check. Just forgot. Sorry, guys. All right.
Okay.
I'm struggling.
I put a little something together, so let's see what happens.
Oh, yay. Thanks, Anna.
Okay. So here is a switch in perspective, okay? So you're looking at them kind of going in, right? There's the she's holding, this one's interacting more with the one that's letting go, okay? So this is the middle, and she's handing it, and this one's, if you can kind of see, she's kneeling.
Yeah.
And having a single thread, I kind of did like almost like these multiple threads, or I was like multiple threads, like they're actually trying to weave them together, kind of, right? And then the same principle. This one's getting kind of released.
I love it. Yeah, that's the word.
All of this is going to be in the dark. Okay, so this is going to be like dark. And then the threads are going to come through. The hands are going to come through. Misty in the background. You got like a little bit of, you have some tiny little branches kind of coming through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the winner. That's the one.
Okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
See, I knew
So
you'd get it. See, I knew it. I just knew it. You just do it. You just do it. It's amazing.
Right down wheel.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we have just created the hangman with details and research to do. We have also just created the wheel. And we will probably have another mystery card for you. Yes, that will happen. Yes.
Are we still taking a break? Are you holding on to?
Yes, yes. Okay, so usually we do our live cast every 2 weeks. And so we're going to take a break. So we're not going to do it in the next 2 weeks. We're going to give ourselves, you'll see us in the next month. So there'll be a bit of time. In that time, we will probably work on a few extra cards behind the scenes slowly, but we're trying to take a bit of a break. One, because I'm sick. I'm also going to be beginning the ritual tarot course that I'm designing for Tarot Summer School, and I've got a few other bits and pieces that I have to get in order, including the write-up for my pre-order, which is going to take a bit of time. And I'm also working on the book to go with the tarot deck. So I just need some time. I need a bit of a break. So you'll see me pop up here and there, but we might yes, we might come back in a whole week. Anna's also got family coming up, some stuff going on as well, and we just decided to take a little bit of a break because we've been going pretty hard, and everyone needs a bit of a break. So don't worry, things will be occurring, and we will still be popping a few cards up on the on the group, so the group will still be quite active. And also the pre-orders will be most likely happening by our next situation, our next live cast. I may very well have the entire write-up ready. I might also have it all in front of me so that when you tune in about half an hour into the live, I will press the submit and decks will be up for pre-order. That's my plan. So wish me luck with that. And I'll let you know how I'm going, and I'll let you know that will be going on. So if you see a post from me saying we are set to pre-order on, the next date is, when will our next date be? So 2 weeks time would have been the 29th, and then 6th, 13th, the 13th of July. Is that right?
I don't have a calendar around, so I'm not sure.
Let's just say yes to the 13th of July. It's the 15th. Yeah, that's about right. That's a month. So the 13th of July, that will be our next live, and there should be some excitement there. There should be.
They can't see you, Avalon. My face. They can't see you.
I beg your pardon?
We cannot see you.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's all right, because I'm a bit haggard right now. You're much prettier than I am.
It's so hot. It's like I feel like I'm like have butter on my face.
You're beautiful. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm gonna read through a little bit. I'm gonna go back and start and read what everybody's saying, because I feel like I'm okay.
Yeah.
Back.
Yes. Does anyone have any questions that they would like to know about? If you do, type them in capital letters. So put your caps lock on and type them out. The whats and the whens. Oh yeah, I don't know if I've said this already, but we do have the 78. We will have the 78 original sketches So we may very well have completed the major arcana in this month, just so that we can put the 78 sketches up there with
78, no.
Not 78, sorry, the 22.
I'm like, what?
22, sorry, the 22. Thank you for that. Thanks for catching that. And so by the time we tune in next, not only will the deck, hopefully, fingers crossed for me, be up for pre-sale, but we will be ready to start on the minors. So if all things go to plan, I know that this is a plan, okay? I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen. This is the plan, assuming I don't get sick again, Anna doesn't get sick again, something happens in the interim. We're just going to, like, we've got a loose plan. We're loosey with our plans, but that's the intention moving forward. So if we can have stuff sorted out beforehand, and we can have lots of so when we come back on the 13th of July, we should have lots of cards to show you. So that will be a really nice reveal one. And then as we've showed you the cards, then maybe the pre-order could go live for then. And let's see how that goes. Oh gosh, it's so exciting. I don't even know what to do with myself. I might have
if you have any hint on the pre-order cost.
I'm doing a cost estimator for the pre-order at this stage. Oh gosh, I'm trying to get it around the 75 Australian dollar mark. 75 Australian dollars, and that's including the book as well. The Lumina Tarot, as far as I know, is a pretty well-made tarot deck. It's pretty sturdy. It was $70 without a book, and so awesome. Just fix it. All right.
In US dollars.
So I've got an NBN technician here at the moment, so I might have to toddle off because this guy's here for my internet. And again,
so give me that.
Yeah, this will be my 7th technician. Shipping from Australia, yes. And I have just approached the Australia Post website to try and get onto Australia Post Business so I can get things, you know, costed more effectively. And postage is a nightmare, I'm not going to lie. It's a nightmare for me ordering most of the decks that you see on my shelf have been purchased overseas, and so I have to pay exponential costs. So I really don't want it to be exponential to export out, but unfortunately that's not something that I can control. So I feel bad, but I also have to let that go because that's out of my control, you know. So he's hoping I can get the best price for everybody, and the tracking and everything should be very much sorted. So all right, guys, my voice is starting to come to an end now, failing miserably, and I've still got to yell at someone, so I need to reserve it. Just wish me luck. Just wish me luck.
I feel you.
All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. You have been phenomenal as per usual. Your little inclusions of blood and runes and all the ash tree, and oh gosh, you're all here. See how much you're here? You're all here, you're all present, you're all being injected in one way or another into this beautiful tarot deck. So as I'm writing my book, I'm putting a little bit of an homage to the community support that we are receiving at this moment in time. And so that's really exciting. So big love to you all, and we will see you on the 13th of July, hopefully with some amazing stuff. I'll leave a few details in the Bonestone Earthflesh Tarot group, so if you want to know where we're at and if this is all going on and if we're up to schedule and if what we have just outlined here is going to be a thing, then just look in the group and we should have something in about 2-3 weeks. So yay.
Yep.
All right, beautiful people. I'll talk to you later. Take care.
Bye-bye.